Hey ArcheryTalk, this is Lucas, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the versatility of the Bowtech Revolt platform. This bow is really not only the simplest bow to tune I've probably ever shot, thanks to that new Deadlock cam system, and we'll dig into that a little bit more in a future video. But it carries over some technology from prior Bowtech models, the FlipDisc system, which I think might be getting, overlooked a little bit this year. Because it's been around for a little while, but I really do think this makes this probably the most versatile hunting bow you can buy, at least for a flagship type bow. And what I really like about this is that if you really want that extra speed, you put this in the performance mode. That's what it usually comes with from the factory, and then you get the full speed out of this bow. With me, I've got this Revolt set at 70 pounds with a 30-inch draw length. And I was shooting my gold tip airstrike arrows, which weigh 475 grains, and they were coming in at about 277 feet per second with this setup. With a lighter arrow, you're obviously going to get much faster speeds, but I like a little bit of a heavier setup. And the only issue I was having was there was a bit of a hump into the valley. When I shot the Bowtech Realm X, which is probably my favorite of the Bowtechs, the one I've enjoyed shooting the most over the years, I didn't really seem to have that dump into the valley. It was a very stiff draw, which this one kind of retains, but this one has a bit more of a dip into the valley than I was liking. And so I decided to try to move it into the comfort setting. And it's the simplest procedure in the world to do. There are literally 3 screws right here that you've got to flip. You got to take them out and then flip this disc around so you can see where it says you want to be able to read comfort, which is what I have right there. If you want to be in the comfort mode, or you want to say performance if you want to be in the performance mode. So you just flip that around and make sure it goes into your right draw length slot. You can see that all the draw length numbers on the back, and then do the same thing on the bottom. And all of a sudden you've kind of changed how the profile of the draw cycle. Gone was that dump into the valley. It really smooths things out quite a bit. I wouldn't say it makes it like noticeably easier to draw. It just kind of makes it smoother for me. Now there is a speed penalty when you do that. So while I was getting about 277 feet per second out of the performance mode with my arrow, when I switched to comfort, I was getting about 268 feet per second. So I dropped 9 feet a second. It's not a huge difference, although the number is going to be a little bigger when you're shooting lighter, faster arrows. If I was shooting like a 400 grain arrow, it's probably going to be more in that 11 to 12 foot a second difference in speed. But it really does change how the bow feels, and it's such an easy thing to do, and such a smart little bit of technology that I think Bowtech's really kind of it's been a boon for Bowtech over the years, and something I've really appreciated on all their bows. So on the target bows, they have that same FlipDisc technology. I've been shooting their bows for the past few years as part of our tests, and every bow I've had has had that same FlipDisc system, and it's one of the smartest bits of kind of archery technology I've had the pleasure of using over the years. I just wanted to highlight that a little bit. It's super easy to change yourself. You don't need any special tools outside of an Allen key. You don't need a bow press, and about 5 minutes of work, and you've changed how the bow feels. And where else can you get that? My only bit of advice would be careful where you're changing this. When you take out these little screws, there's washers attached, and they're very easy to lose, especially if you're working on like a concrete floor in your garage or something like that. I have definitely spent some time on my knees looking for washers and screws that I've dropped from the Bowtech bows, and among others. So I'd like to either do this on wood or lay maybe a sheet over where you're working, just in case you drop something. It makes it a little bit easier to find. But that's really the smallest of complaint when you've got that kind of versatility out of the hunting bow you're shooting. And if you want an easier setup, especially if maybe you're shooting on really cold mornings, you don't want that stiff draw that the performance mode brings. Switch it over to comfort, and as long as you shoot ahead of time, you've got your pins mapped out, you're good to go. So I think that's about it for now, ArcheryTalk. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and share and subscribe. It helps the channel an awful lot, and we'll see you again soon.